Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fun with Flags, the show we do every week where we teach each other about our own respective countries. I teach my friend Soda about Israel, and my friend Soda teaches me 50 Sheeps of Greek today about Canada. Today, it's my turn again because I haven't done that in a while, and I decided to do something special today. So last time I hosted, it was mostly focused on the Eurovision, and so we're sort of continuing the nice. I see what you did there. I think you're missing one of the nines, but never mind. But I think it's 1999 999. I think. Don't quote me on this, but yeah. So my friend Soda of Earth 1999 999 and myself, we are going to what?
I got it right.
What?
It's
Okay.
5 nines.
Okay. Well, show us what I know. But yeah, so we're continuing the music theme from the last time I hosted, but this time we're going from the glitz and glamour of the Eurovision area to something a bit more subtle, to something more along the lines of traditional music, or more specifically, children's music. We are going to pay homage and honor a not so living legend anymore, a deceased, passing legend who passed away a couple of weeks ago, if not months, a few months ago. One Mr. Yehonatan Geffen, also known as Jonathan Geffen, if you're hard on pronouncing. This man, basically, he wrote a lot of songs, but one of the few ones, one of the many ones that he did do was he wrote the theme song, rather the soundtrack of our childhood. For Israel, that is. The soundtrack of our childhood. He wrote this iconic album known as the 16th Sheep back in 1978, featuring about 18 or 19 songs that all of them are the songs that every child in Israel has grown up with, grown up listening to. Every child in Israel knows the lyrics, and every child of that generation in Israel has also taught those songs and sang those songs to their children and soon to be grandchildren at this point. This is a really memorable album. I definitely remember my fond memories of listening to it when I was young, and re-listening to it and rediscovering it again when my cousins were born, and hopefully my cousins, who several of them now have children of their own, will also be singing those songs to their children as well. So without further ado, I just want to give a slight moment of silence to honor the memory of Yehonatan Geffen.
I sometimes forget that's how you guys write that, because in our side of the world, the dates are flipped.
You should see the actual date with the days in the month. We also do it. And yeah, it's a good thing I grabbed the picture with the numbers as opposed to the letters. But yeah, also his Yehonatan Geffen also has a very famous and very well established and accomplished son called Aviv Geffen, who also celebrated his 50th birthday around the time of his father's passing.
Adopted? I don't see the resemblance.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you wouldn't figure that this was able to produce this, right?
Oh, dude, you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guess what? They both ended up as musicians. Who would have figured? Am I right?
Yep, we have plenty of those over here. Bob Dylan and his son, who formed the band The Wallflowers. Yeah, we get that a lot over here. Frank Zappa and his kids.
And also, like I said, he also celebrated his 50th birthday around the time of his father's passing. And sadly, he was scheduled to. He already had scheduled and sold tickets to a live stage performance celebrating his 50th birthday, and he got a special permission from the rabbi to leave the shiva to perform for the good of the people, because it was also during a military campaign, and the people needed something to rejoice. They needed something to be happy about, and so he went out and did it. And well, good for him, despite the pain,
Yeah,
despite
no kidding, man. Sometimes, like, that's something you see more often over here. The easiest way to deal with your grief is to put yourself into something you love. And hearing that him and his father are both musicians, it just makes sense that he did this, because it was something that was special between him and his father. And like you said, it brought Israel joy. So I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, and especially because if you actually go into the personal history of both of them, his particular style of music was a very big departure from his father, and it sort of had a rift between them. It was mended over the years, but
Really?
yeah, his choice of music was a big point of contention between him and his father at certain points in their careers.
What did he play? Disco?
No, he played. I suppose the best way I can describe it is Rage Against the Machines type weapon.
Gotcha.
Rage against the Rage against society. Right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're from Earth 1999. I mean, you just saw Spider-Verse. Imagine Spider-Punk, just a little bit more toned down.
Actually, 50. All you had to say was Rage Against the Machines, because there's a band here called Rage Against the Machine that sings about that.
That's what I said. That's why I said that.
Okay, gotcha. I was just making sure. I didn't catch. Sorry.
Okay, now enough about them. We need to talk about their actual music. More specifically, the father, and the album right here, the 16th Sheep, is the main topic of a contention we are here to talk about today. I do have all 19-ish songs ready to go with the lyrics. I'm going to explain what those lyrics mean, because they're in a language that my friend sort of doesn't understand.
Yeah, which was the last half hour, 45 minutes. A lot of fun.
Yeah, but before that, what did you think about just hearing it without understanding what the lyrics mean?
So yeah, listening to it from a musical standpoint, it really hits home the fact that when it comes to our tastes, we're not all that much different. Like, listening to it, I was reminded of things from my childhood. And then, of course, as I mentioned to you when I first heard the first song, it sounds a lot like the Beatles when I'm 64. And I was able to hear some other influences, which is why I asked 50 privately. It's like, is this from the 60s? And he said it's from the 70s. I'm like, well, that makes sense. It's because it's got that folksy style to it. And back to the Beatles, it does remind me of the instrumentation of their music from around the Sgt. Pepper's Yellow Submarine era. Like, Yellow Submarine was more kiddie oriented, so that kind of gravitated more to that one in terms of sound. But overall, it would have been nice to know what they were saying. But from a music standpoint, there's a few times I wanted to crawl in the bed.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the point of these songs are. They're sort of lullabies, some of them, to help young children fall asleep.
Yeah, you definitely get that feeling on a few of them.
Now, there is also this thread right here. This is what it says on. This is basically the album cover.
Yeah,
and this is what it says on the back of the album cover. I'll try to translate as best I can. It says here, Triton Studio Monday night. Hello, children. Inside this envelope hides a disc that we made especially for you. We sing here. We sing songs about Uncle Ephraim and of the smell of chocolate, of little fights, and of the prettiest girl in kindergarten. And there are stories of the green man and the man with the long hairs, and more songs.
Stories of the Green Man. Freaking the Beatles had the Blue Meanies. This guy had the Green Men.
I mean, and we haven't even gotten to the lyrics yet.
Yeah.
So sit tight, quietly or noisily, and listen. And if you think you already know the song, you can sing with it, and watch as the song sings with you. Pleasant listening. Close brackets, and mommy and daddy, and don't let mommy and daddy bother you. Hear us. Yours, with love, Judith, Giddy, David, Yoni, and Jonathan, or Yehudit, Giddy, David, Yoni, Yehonatan. Now, these names mentioned here are the main participants, or more specifically, the main vocalists from this album, namely Yoni Rechter,
Mhm.
Gidi Gov, Judith Ravitz, and David Broza. Gidi Gov, by the way, is, I think, I would venture so far as to say that he's my favorite Israeli singer.
I don't know why, but he looks like Mr. Data.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Data from Star Trek Generation. Kind of looks like Brent Spiner a little bit.
Oh, I mean, Mr. Data.
Yeah, Mr. Data, but Brent Spiner is the actor.
Kinda... I mean, you said that. My mind immediately went to Data's father from the Goonies.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I don't watch Star Trek enough to actually know which one it is, the pronunciation.
Okay, it's fine. It's good. It's all good. Yeah, I would say he's got this Brent Spiner energy to him. Now, fun fact: I did actually get to meet him once. Oh, you'll never guess where or when.
Part of me wants to say at a convention.
You'd be close, but no cigar.
Okay, so probably not that. So I would probably say an Israeli celebration of some sort.
It was a celebration.
Then I am all out of guesses.
It was a fan screening of Avengers Infinity War.
Fuck off. Really?
He just happened to leave the theater while we were taking our pictures right before the movie started.
I'm like, where's 50? Where's 50?
Look at the guy without the hair. Yeah, you can kind of
the guy without the hair who's looking down when there's two blondes in front of him. Very unfortunate timing, 50.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't in charge of when the picture was taken, but hey, look, Alana,
the
camera.
There
but
we go.
The thing is, in this picture, I'm not looking at the camera, but he does, and in this picture is kind of the opposite.
Who cares? You got to meet him.
Yeah, I got to shake his hand and tell him he's my favorite Israeli singer, and tell him that how much I adore him. So yeah, I think that's about it for the technical stuff. Now, shall we get down to the actual lyrics of the song?
Good, so I'll know what they're talking about. There's one song. There was one song when we get to it. I hope I remember where I had the holy shit. That word sounds familiar.
I think I know what word you're referring to.
Yeah, we did discuss it.
But okay, so here is song number one. Song number one, the one that opens the album, naturally, is simply titled "How is a Song Born?" Or rather, the birth of a song.
Interesting.
Now, I do have to apologize in advance. I still am dealing with a little throat problem, as you probably may have noticed in some of the last couple of episodes we've had over the past couple of weeks. So please bear with me.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat as you, my friend. We've been having some going around over here too.
Yeah, I'm just gonna silence all the Facebook messages because it's really starting to bother me. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So, how is a song born? Like laughter, it starts from inside and rolls out. How is a song born? Like a baby. In the beginning, it hurts, and then it goes outside. And again, this is a rough translation. Okay, some of these words don't necessarily translate quite as well.
Still pretty deep.
Yeah, it's still pretty deep. Yeah. It at first it hurts, and then it comes out, and everyone's happy, and suddenly, how great! He walks on his own. How is a song born? Like a baby. Now, before we move on, I just have to preface this. These are songs written specifically for toddlers, okay? So the lyrics will reflect that, okay?
Just to give an idea for people on this side, it would be similar to Lamb Chop, which is what I showed you last week. Sherry Lois and Brahm. Oh God, what the heck was it? Shit, what's his name? There's a very famous. Fuck off. It'll come to me as we keep going.
Why do you keep yelling at me that you can remember?
Keep going. It'll come to me.
Okay. Now, after the first chorus, we're sort of treated with a speaking verse. So some of these songs are straight
Yeah,
up
that actually
songs.
threw me off.
Yeah, some of these songs are straight up songs, and some of these songs have like speaking lines in them that still sort of rhyme. Okay. Hello, children. We're glad you came. Very soon you'll hear songs you've already heard. Hello, mothers. We'll start very soon. But before that, tell me, how is a song born? How is a song born? Like laughter. It starts from inside and rolls out. How is a song born? Like a baby. At first it hurts, and then it comes out, and everyone's happy, and suddenly, how great, he walks on his own. How is a song born? Like a baby.
For a split second, I thought you were gonna do it to the tune of Madonna's "Like a Virgin." Like a baby. See?
That would have been a whole other meaning to the song. Okay, we're almost done. Putting three words together, putting it on a small fire, and run and quickly run fast to bring onion from the neighbor. Add two rhymes, some pepper, some salt, mixing with three sheeps, and throwing an ice cube. Very important that the ice will be warm, will be hot.
Is that
And
actually part of
then, yeah, what?
weird? Is that actually part of the lyric? That's
Yes.
very nice. Wow.
It's important. It's very important that the ice will be hot.
Okay.
And then, of course, it goes back into the chorus again. La 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 la.
Yeah, and this is the one where when I listened to it last week, I said this sounds like a Beatles song, and I sent it to him. When I'm 64 by the Beatles, and oh my god, the rhythm of the music.
And especially the rhythm, not so much
Yeah,
the lyrics, obviously.
yeah. So it more like it was written in the same key.
Yeah. Perhaps it was intentional. And now we move on to the next song, which is Lightning and Thunder.
Ooh, my favorite things.
Are they? Is it really?
Actually, yeah. Believe it or not, I actually I like to watch the thunder and lightning. I do. I find it pretty.
Really?
Like when I was living in New Westminster, for whatever reason, the field that was by my apartment was a conduit for lightning, and I wasn't that far away. Like I lived, I don't know, about 200 feet away from there, and whenever you'd see the lightning hit, it just was, oh my god, like, it was so gorgeous.
I see what you mean. I mean, when I was in the military, we had this. After the war, we had this sort of campaign. I mean, they want to call it a campaign. It was a shit show, but on our way back, it was one of the longest nights of my life. It was horrible, and like I still have nightmares from what happened that night. But the one silver lining, no pun intended, was getting to see. It was a very lightning filled night, and we got to see all the lightning strikes at different points. So it was kind of pretty, despite everything else that happened there. Okay, so thunder. Sorry. What?
No, I coughed.
Oh, okay. I might do that again as well. But so yeah, lightning and thunder I think it'll be better if I just do it without the rhythm. Just read the lyrics.
Yeah.
Thunder and lightning on a cold winter night don't always sound the same. Lightning and thunder, thunder and lightning. Sometimes close and sometimes far away. Lightning and thunder thunder and lightning on the rainy nights. The lightning you see, but the thunder you hear. There are thunders that are very scary, and those that are only a little scary. That is, there's a weak thunder, a middle thunder, and a strong thunder that's not pleasant to hear. especially if you're alone.
Hmm.
Close brackets. Every once in a while, you meet a night's thunder, and then obviously it's the chorus again. Thunder and lightning on a cold winter night don't always sound the same. Lightning and thunder and lightning sometimes sound close and sometimes far away.
Very literal.
Yeah, very literal. So is that all? Is that all I'm getting from you?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, these songs aren't that long. Like, I think the longest was what? Not even 3 minutes.
Yeah, and it's mostly because of the music.
Yeah. I mean, like, of course, like you said, you're giving the Rush translation, but I mean, the message is coming across very clear. This is a good educational album, and it's starting to understand why it has permeated so many generations.
Yeah. You can kind of tell at which points of the year they used to play these songs on the radio or on certain TV channels, right?
Yeah.
Song number 3. This is probably going to be the hardest one to translate. When we rode into town to visit Uncle Ephraim. Okay. When we rode to town to visit Uncle Ephraim, we saw many shoe shops, and I thought, if suddenly the shoes will decide to get out of the glass and search for some feet, it'll be pretty happy. When we drove to town to visit Uncle Ephraim, we saw toy shops in Yehonatan. Yehonatan is a city next to Tel Aviv, just in case you were wondering. They asked me, what do you want? I said, a bicycle. They told me, fine, next year. When we drove to town to visit Uncle Ephraim, we passed by a man with holes in his socks. He had a sad face, and he leaned on a stick. Mommy told me not to look, but I looked. When we drove to town to visit Uncle Ephraim, it was in winter 2 years ago. Since then, I've grown up. Now I have a bike. I almost forgot I used to be 3. Only the poor man with the holes in his socks doesn't leave my head.
Actually, pretty. Wow. That actually paints quite the image.
Yep. And imagine try sing that in a relatively happy tone.
Yeah, that's the thing. These songs are happy.
These songs are very happy, despite. Well, this one specifically is a bit depressing.
It is, but it's a good message. It's just like, man, there's people out there that are less fortunate as you, man. Don't forget them.
Yep. And it's the kind of images that never really leave your mind as you grow up.
Oh, totally. I have one, but it's not from growing up. I was running in my 20s, and I was walking downtown Vancouver, and I saw this older gentleman. He was homeless, you could tell, but he was literally on his knees, like he was at altar, accepting the horse of Christ with his hands like this and his head down. And that's always stuck with me because, I mean, you have to have, like, I don't know if I'd ever be able to do that. To get down on your knees on a corner and beg like that, that just, that takes more courage than I think I'll ever have.
Yeah, I only one time in my life I had to beg people for money, and it's like it never really leaves my head since. Like, I felt horrible that I got to that position.
Mm-hmm.
So should we move on to a happier song now?
Yes, please.
The song is literally called "I Love."
Okay.
Sorry.
I love. It explains your name.
Yep. I love chocolate and cheesecake and popsicle and candy and strawberry. I love birthdays and bags of goodies and the sun and the moon and even a few stars. I love winter and summer. No, sorry. There's sort of a rhythm there. I love the winter and the summer and autumn and spring and whatever it is right now. I love galit, especially with braids, and the one with the freckles, and the one with shit. I don't even know how to translate that name, but it's those little points that you get here when you smile. What? Dimples. Yeah, dimples. The one with the dimples. I love mommy and daddy too, and Shula, the kindergarten teacher, and Aunt Miriam. I love grandpa and grandma. I love my sister, but mostly, I love me.
Yeah,
And then,
so I like that.
yeah, and then it goes back to the I love the winter and the summer and the rest of that. So that's really the chorus here. Let me just check, make sure we got the order right because some of these are not on the same website, so I gotta check. Okay, this next one is one of the ones that it's entirely just speaking. It's called "The Giraffe Has a Long Neck."
This is the one. Okay, so there's this one. I figured it was a giraffe because I heard the word giraffe.
It's a giraffe.
Yeah. And this is the one where they also use the word the word for bus, right?
Yeah.
Is it this one? Okay. Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm listening to it, and I actually had to rewind it to listen to make sure I heard it right because I'm like, did they use a French word in here? And they use the word auto, and they actually pronounce it like this, autobus, which is how you pronounce bus in French. And when I mentioned it to 50, he tells me that's how it is in Israeli as well.
Yeah, if Israeli was a language.
Sorry, in Hebrew. Sorry.
Yeah. Thank you.
My bad.
So
we need
apparently also
we need a shun gif.
you need a what?
A shun gif. Shun. Because I called it Israeli language instead of Hebrew.
Don't you mean shame?
That
Isn't it shame?
shun.
Well, we need to work on that.
Yeah.
So the giraffe has a long neck. He can see a bus before it leaves, and a sun before it rises. Everything we see, the giraffe sees ahead of us. He also has this expression on his face. How great it is to be a tall animal. The giraffe has a long neck. He sees clouds at the edge of the world and proclaims, "Friends, in 2 months it'll be raining." From a giraffe's height, we all look short, and our biggest problems are just tiny dots for a giraffe. Short and concise, right?
Short, concise, and again to the point. And it's just like, well, no, duh, they can see further than the rest of us. Yeah.
This is another one that's sort of mostly speaking, but this is another one with a very clear message in it. It's called there is a kid that his dad is sort of filling the blank. There's a kid that his dad is a doctor, and there are kids that their dad is sick. There are kids that their dad is poor, and kids the refrigerator is always full. There, there's a kid that his father is a tailor. In his coat, you won't see any holes. And there are kids that their dad is a barber, and they're always so clean shaven or cut hair or whatever. You get the meaning,
Yeah.
right? You get the point. There, there, there are kids that their dad is a driver. Next to their house stands a bus. They have a bus standing. And there is a kid that his dad is the mayor. He always talks politely. There are kids that their dad is strong. Many kids say that their dads are heroes. There are kids with there are kids with a smooth dad, and there are kids with stabby dads. Stabby meaning beards, because
Okay, prickly.
yeah, prickly. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Prickly.
Fun sidebar: my friend with his prickly beard made his wife bleed while he was kissing her. Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That takes skill.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Okay, now final line here. There are kids. There are dads that go to work at 8 and back at 5:30. There are dads you barely see, and my dad sits and writes songs.
Yeah, that's a nice song telling the kid, they're all dads, but that they're all a little differently.
Yeah. Now, this next song, there is a French translation to it, and I think I sent it to you. Did you listen to it?
No, I missed that one, unfortunately. Sorry, but if you send me the title, I might be able to find the translation written down.
It is and now it kind of sucks that I closed all the Facebook
No,
thing.
just tell me the name and I'll Google it.
I sent it to you in the text box, but which I just closed. Let me look for it again in the text box that I sent you specifically. Sheesh.
Sorry.
Where is it? Live TV, folks.
Yep.
Live TV.
Yeah, I'm trying to scroll through too.
Where is it?
Maybe you didn't send it to me.
Pretty sure I did.
I know we talked about it.
Oh, there it is. Hold on. Le petite fille la plus jolie du monde.
Whoa. Le petite fille is the little girl. What's the rest?
La plus jolie du monde.
Oh, okay. Du monde. M-O-N-D-E, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So
as in world.
So, okay. Le plus. Say that first part again.
Le petite fille.
Yeah. Le petite fille qui est le plus belle dans tout le monde, right?
La plus jolie du monde.
Okay. Same meaning, two different words. But basically, it translates to the most beautiful girl in the world.
Yeah, that's where I was aiming for.
Not the Prince song, mind you.
But yeah, so in this album specifically, it's called "The Prettiest Girl in Kindergarten" because remember the target audience here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but monde, the word for monde is world.
Is world, yeah. So the prettiest girl in kindergarten. Let's just go with world because it's shorter and easier to fit in the song
and less creepy.
Yeah. Again, remember the target audience here.
Yeah.
The prettiest girl in the world. She has the prettiest eyes in the world, and the prettiest braid in the world, and the prettiest mouth in the world. And the more you look at her, the more you see there's nothing to talk about, and she's the prettiest girl in the world. When she smiles, I also smile. And when she's sad, I don't understand. How can you be sad when you're the prettiest girl in the world?
See, to me, that translates better as to being the most beautiful girl in the world, because if you really said what you just said, but with the word kindergarten, a little creepy. But if you change it for the word moan, it can be used as an actual a love song.
Yeah, but I mean, again, it's meant to be sang in a kindergarten by the kindergarten teacher.
Right. Context is key for sure.
Context is very key. That's actually one of my favorite songs in this album. Next we have The Story of the Green Men. Okay. We talked about it earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, because I said, hey, look, the Beatles have the Blue Meanies. This guy has the Green Man.
Okay, and now get this. Get the lyrics here, okay? If by chance I meet someone who doesn't understand me or thinks I'm a baby, if by chance I meet someone like that, I very quickly tell them the story of the Green Man. Once upon a time, in a green city, lived a man, a green man. The green man lived in a green house with a green door and green windows. He had a green wife and 2 green children. At night, he would sleep in his green bed and dreamt green dreams. One day, the green man got up in the in a green morning, put on green shoes, wore a green T-shirt and green pants. On his head, he had a green hat and went outside. The green man went inside his green car and drove the green road in a green speed. From one side of the road, the, the man saw a green sea, and from the other side, many green flowers. It was a beautiful day, and the green man was happy and sang green songs and smoked a green cigar, a green cigarette with green smoke. And then the green man saw on the edge of the road standing a blue man. The green man halted his car. The green man halted his green car and asked the blue man, "Hey, blue man, what are you doing here?" "Me?" said the blue man. "I'm from a different story."
The fuck? That totally didn't go the way I thought it would.
Where did you thought I was going?
Oh, I honestly didn't know. I just wasn't expecting the line on from another story. What?
Another story.
So what is the green? Like, what is the green man though? Because I'm hearing it's like, okay, he's smoking a green cigar, pot. He's wearing a green suit, hemp suit. Oh
yeah, you can kind of tell that it was written by the mind of this guy, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, fair, but like, what? Why the green man? Like, I don't understand that.
It's not supposed to be understood. Like it's supposed to be
something that gets lost in translation, I guess.
Probably. I mean, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to. I guess it's just building up the joke that there's a blue man from a different story.
See, like, because you hear someone is blue, you think, oh, they're sad. So that's kind of where I thought this was going.
maybe there's a blue story about a blue man in a blue house, and I'm blue, da ba dee da ba die, da ba dee.
I'm blue, da ba dee ba. Yep.
Maybe there's like a multiverse of colorful people out there.
Maybe.
Or maybe it's just supposed to say that, hey, some people just have different skin color and it's okay. Accept it.
Son of a bitch. I didn't go too literal. Oh no.
And every one of those people with different colored skin has a different story to tell.
It's true. Remember, folks, we all see the same color.
Yeah, that's so profound. I cannot believe it came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
But now we're on to my favorite song in the album. Whoever looks, or in its full title, Whoever Looks at Me from Behind. I think it's better if we go with Who Looks at Me from the Back, because it might be easier to say. But whoever looks at me from the back doesn't know who I am. Whoever looks at me from the back doesn't know who I am. Whoever looks at me in the back doesn't know who I am. Who looks at me at the back don't know who I am. Whoever and that was the chorus. Now on to the verses. Okay. Whoever looks at me from the back doesn't know who I am. Whoever looks at me from the back doesn't know who I am. Whoever looks at me from the back could easily think that I am not myself. Whoever looks at me from the back can come over and ask me. Hold on, there's nope. Sorry, my bad. I thought the order of things was out of whack. Whoever looks at me from the back can come over and ask me, "Hey, kid, who do you belong? Who do you belong to? What are you doing here? Why aren't you in kindergarten? When will you get a haircut?" Whoever looks at me from the back can ask me questions that you ask from the front. Whoever looks at me from the back can't pinch me because the cheeks are in front. Whoever looks at me from the back passes by me quietly. I don't see him, and he doesn't see me. Whoever looks at me from the back doesn't know how I'm feeling. There are some people in our neighborhood that have no chance of seeing me from the front. Whoever looks at me from the back doesn't know who I am, so now take the disc and flip to the other side.
Oh my God.
I think we're starting to sense a pattern here, right?
Yeah, I am.
let me be really with you here. So I'll Israeli humor a lot of the time hinges on fourth wall breaking. More often than not.
I will say Jewish humor is some of the best humor.
And well, case in point,
Mel Brooks. Actually, I was going to go one further. Mel Brooks.
hold on, where is it? Shit, I deleted the 10 Commandments one. I was gonna.
Ah, crap. But no, Mel Brooks has been credited with the line, "Wit is shit, funny is money."
Yeah, I got no arguments to that. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. There it is. Now, if only it would load faster. In the meantime, I'm gonna play this again.
There it is.
Here we go.
The Lord Jehovah has given unto you these 10 commandments for all to obey.
That is one of those jokes that will always stay with me.
Never gets old.
Never does.
Never gets old. Now we're on to the other side of the album. And to be honest, my least favorite part of the album, because some of my lesser favorite songs are in this. But again, I think I have to reiterate this. Remember the target audience here. This is written for toddlers.
Yes.
Okay? This next song is called Hey, I'm Not a Baby Anymore. Hey, I'm not a baby anymore. I dress up alone and undress alone and eat alone and laugh alone and cry alone and dream alone of all kinds of things that I'll do alone when I'm all grown up. Hey, I'm not a baby anymore. Mommy says I need to eat a lot because now I'm always growing. But that's not true. When no one's looking, I stop and rest a little and grow again. And then it goes back to the previous part that I read earlier. Hey, I'm not a baby. I'm alone. I'm alone. I'm alone.
I'm a big kid now. That's actually a song over here, kind of in a similar vein, but more bouncy.
Okay, cool. It's bouncy. Where are we now? Okay, and now sort of a continuation of that. When I'm grown up. When I'm grown up, I'll be a carpenter and build houses, but not a cage. When I'll grow up, I'll be a singer and sing a happy song to whoever is sad. When I'll grow up, I'll be a doctor, giving injections to anyone who hurts. When I'll grow up, I'll be a baker and bake bread to anyone who's hungry. When I'll grow up, I'll be a painter and paint a beautiful world, a prettier world. Sorry. When I grow up, I'll be a carpenter and build a table, a chair, and a piano. When I grow up, I'll be a sailor and sail ships in a stormy sea. When I'm grown up, first let me grow up and then we'll see.
Nice.
Where is it? So now the next one is a smell of chocolate. No relation to the name I gave myself. That's still the other song.
I love chocolate too.
Me likes chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that came from.
Neither.
Now again, so this has to do with Ramat Gan. Ramat Gan is another city that's very close to Tel Aviv. Just needed to point that out. At the end of Ramat Gan, there's a special place where you can stand and smell chocolate. There is a big tall house with no windows and 3 chimneys and 30 machines day and night, working day and night, and 70 workers with bibs and gloves making chocolate in all shapes. Big chocolate, small chocolate, big chocolate, expensive chocolate, cheap chocolate, chocolate with nuts and chocolate for rich people, and 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 for everyone. And the smell is free, and all citizens stop and smell. The children running in the neighborhood stop. The bus stops behind over the corner. The cats stop running from the dogs. The cops stand beside the robbers. Everyone look at the chimneys, and slowly, their nose is filled with the smell of chocolate. And then the chorus again.
Very nice.
The Lord Jehovah.
I found a clip that I wanted to air, like a GIF that I want to air for that, but I'm not finding it on my computer now, and I accidentally clicked that by accident.
Oops.
Shit! Don't you just love it when that happens?
Yeah, no, I do not.
GIF image.
Okay. Next song is "Little Fights." Are you listening, or are you looking
yes.
for the?
I'm listening, and I did find the GIFs. Just keep talking, and I will load it and let you know.
Okay, so this next one is halfway just speaking, and the other half is just the singing.
So it's
Okay?
loading. Now, when you were singing, when you were telling the words about the chocolate and the people coming on and all that stuff, will you freaking load? Son of a bitch! This is what popped in my head.
Chocolate.
Homer Simpson in the land of chocolate.
Very fitting. Very fitting. I'm guessing whoever wrote this album loves chocolate a lot. Okay, so
what's not to love?
Of course. Who doesn't like chocolate?
Weirdos, that's who.
Yeah, that's exactly who. So when I'm really bored and nothing to play, I go outside and fight with Giora, the neighbor's kid. Yesterday I had a fight with Giora. We sat on the grass alone. He said his dad is tall, and I said he's a dwarf. Yesterday I fought with Giora, the neighbor's kid. He said that there are men on the moon, and I said there are none. Yesterday I fought with Giora. We played in the garden. He said that God is in the sky, and I said it's a cloud. Later I caught a small snake, and he told me it's a lizard. Yesterday we fought, me and Giora, for almost half an hour. Yesterday I fought with Giora. We sat on the grass alone.
So basically, we fought. Now we're friends.
I mean, that's what kind of the Israeli dream in a nutshell.
Touche.
Yeah, like the people you end up having these great massive fights with, you end up becoming great friends with at the end.
Nice.
Lifelong friends.
Mm.
And speaking of friends, we have the next song, Yossi Yossi. So Yossi is the name of a kid, by the way, just saying.
Okay.
All day I was like this, neither here nor there. I looked at the sun and only saw a cloud. And then my friend arrived, and I got really excited when he looked at me in the eyes, just like an animated film. Yossi, 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 let's sit and talk. Yossi, Yossi, Yossi. What a Yossi of a friend. This is sort of a double meaning there. What a great friend. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha.
They don't tell me come home, comb your hair or get dressed, and the aunt doesn't kiss me wet on the face. My friend is great. He's a true friend, but he's in third grade, and I'm about to go to second grade. Yossi, 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 let's sit and talk. Yossi, Yossi, Yossi. What a Yossi of a friend. When me and him are alone, when me and him are together, nothing isn't funny. If I'm a little bummed down, he knows how to make me laugh. We play tag and run with the dogs on the grass, and on the grass spins a sprinkler, and we both get wet.
It's a song about friends. And
Friends,
unfortunately,
and-
friends that have an age difference.
and then it's not that big of an age difference.
Yeah, but 2 different grades.
Yeah, I suppose. I guess in that age, it does seem a little.
It seems like far, yeah.
Now, this next one is the shortest song. It's only 55 seconds, and it's mainly just speaking and how fitting that the name of the song and the name of the song is When You Say. Okay? Now, get this.
Okay.
When you say radish, you feel your tongue. When you say onion, you get an appetite. Saying kohlrabi is like shouting.
What's
that?
What's kohlrabi?
It's a type of vegetable plant
Okay.
thing. Saying peas is like shutting up. When you say apple, your whole mouth becomes swollen. After saying, oh shit, what the hell is that? After saying petrozelia, you have to take a break. Let me just.
Yeah, no kidding. Petrozelia, never heard of that one.
Parsley.
Oh, yeah, I know what parsley is. Petrozelia.
Yeah. Different languages. Let me check what kohlrabi means. Let me.
Oh, yeah, okay. Ah, interesting.
Wow, it actually means kohlrabi. Okay, so when you say bread, you feel it home. When you say watermelon, you feel like summer. When you say grapefruit, it means you got nothing to say. When you say banana, you feel small. When you say artichoke, your whole face scrunches up. But the funniest thing is to say cauliflower.
That is definitely a song that does not translate well.
I didn't get it either.
Nope.
Both languages. But hey, it is what it is, as I always say. The next one is like the sea, like a sea, I should say. Father came back from Eilat, the northernmost city in Israel, and brought me one seashell. If you put it next to your other ear, you hear waves and sometimes a ship. Father came back from Eilat and brought me a single seashell. If you look at it from the side, you see fish, boats, and sometimes fishermen. Father came back from Eilat and brought me a seashell. One seashell that if you stick by it, if you stay next to it for a while, you feel all of a sudden like the sea. Father came back from Eilat and brought me a seashell. If you put it next to the other ear, you hear waves and sometimes.
Quit looking at me.
What?
If you put it next to the other ear and you hear, quit looking at me. It's a Robin Williams joke. I'm sorry. I thought it was funny.
We're gonna.
Canadians are weird.
We're gonna do this for a while. And lastly, Father came back from Eilat and brought me a seashell. One seashell that if you stick by it long enough, sometimes you feel it all at once like the sea. You couldn't have waited until I finished the song, right?
Nope.
Yeah, well. Yeah. Now
the timing of that joke had to work when you said you put it up to your ear. Otherwise, if I waited till afterwards, it would have bombed even worse.
all right, fine. Okay, so
I need to work on it.
what?
It says comedic timing. I need to work on it.
Yeah. We only got a couple more songs left. The Man with the Hairs, another mostly speaking song.
That sounds like a lot of people in Israel would say, the man with the hairs.
Yeah, The Man with the Hairs.
The man with the curly hairs. Be more specific, child.
Once, a long time ago, I saw a little man with long hairs that cover half of Ramat Gan. When he passed by, when he crosses the road, the buses stop, and then you can see that first a small man crosses, and then the hairs pass behind him. Yes, the man had endless hair. It took took him 3 days just to wash. Afterwards, on the clotheslines outside, he would hang his hair up to dry. Every morning he braided 1,000 braids with his hair. He swept the streets. At night, when he would return home, he would unravel his braids and find popsicle sticks, pebbles, and papers, and a small kitten who got tangled up in his hair. I saw him when I was a kid. Haven't seen him since. Maybe he traveled to another country. Or could it be that he just got a haircut?
No wonder it took him 3 days to wash.
Yep. I mean, just to think of the level of hair that you have, how many years you have to not get a haircut to get a hair
It's
like
like
that.
people that are like that with the world's longest nails and the world's longest hair, and you're like, that is freaking dedication. Because I get antsy when my nails grow to like a quarter of an inch.
Yeah, but the thing is, those people with the long hair, they always roll it up in a big, massive braid and just carry it around like a massive knapsack.
True.
This guy just lets the hair droop like Cousin It style.
Well, it would make sense to do that, because if you actually think of it logically, you could accidentally kill yourself.
With a hair that big.
Right, because you could accidentally step on your hair while you're walking and break your neck. I've heard of it happening.
Really? Ooh.
Yes.
I don't want to think about that.
Yeah.
Now, the penultimate song here is just simply titled...
Yeah, I think. I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
You get yourself one of these. Now, it's called A Closed Kindergarten. Yesterday at 5 in the afternoon, we went with Mom to the store, and on the way we saw that our kindergarten is closed. The swings are standing between the tall trees and the flowers. So low and colorless because our kindergarten is closed. Cubes have fallen asleep, organized in the basket, and there is no child to build a tower out of them. There is no kindergarten teacher to say what's allowed and what's forbidden, and all the books are put together on the shelf because there's no one to hear story time. So again, cubes have fallen asleep, organized in the basket, and there's no kid to build a tower from them. The swings are standing by between the tall trees and the flowers, so low and colorless because our kindergarten is closed. Yesterday at 5 in the afternoon, we went with Mom to the shop and saw that our kindergarten is closed. It's not so pretty. It's not so pretty to see a closed kindergarten. It's not so pretty to see a closed kindergarten. It's not so pretty to see a closed kindergarten. It's not so pretty to see a closed kindergarten.
Sounds a little depressing. Yeah, it's definitely not pretty to see a closed kindergarten.
And now we're on to the final one, which is the main topic of the album, The 16th Sheep, also known alternatively by a different name, Good Night. When I can't sleep and thoughts come in and out of my head, I sit on my bed and count sheep. Sometimes sheepets. It works better in Hebrew because there's two general pronouns. But the flock passes above my head and disappears behind my back. And every sheep that I count looks exactly like the one before him. First sheep, second sheep, third and fourth sheep. Balls of yarn, all alike, passing by the 8th sheep and the 9th sheep. But when the 16th sheep arrives, I know that he'll stop and wander around in my room. And I understand that this sheep will stay and has no interest in moving on with the herd or the flock. The herd. I whisper him, "Come on, sheep, move it. Just this once, let me count you all." But he doesn't move, and the 16th sheep is usually the one I fall asleep with. Good night.
Lullaby and good night. Yeah, that's you know what? That is obviously a saying. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody literally counting sheep in their sleep.
Yeah, I mean, it's I always know it's a saying. I never really thought anyone does that. The one time I can recall anyone counting sheep is from the Courage the Cowardly Dog episode with the Sandman.
Yeah, like I've always seen it in entertainment, but I've never actually seen anyone do it.
The closest I ever gotten was just counting up from 0, but wasn't necessarily counting sheep per se. Like, how would a shepherd know how many sheep he has in his herd if every time he counts them he falls asleep? Right?
That's true. What would you do if all of a sudden the sheep wandered off? You're like, oh shit, I'm screwed.
Yeah, I can't count these guys. So these are all the 19 songs in this album. Any final thoughts? Sorry.
No, I mean, like musically, it was kind of relaxing to listen to because I listened to part of it while I was in the shower, and of course I was listening to it before we went on the show. And no, like I said earlier, you hear, okay, we're gonna listen to Israeli children's music, and you're like, well, what's this gonna sound like? But then hearing you read it, say it back to me, it's like, well, it's not really any different than what we got over here.
Yeah, in
terms of the message.
Yeah, these types of songs don't necessarily have to make sense. It's all about the music and the rhythm.
Exactly.
So, your turn next, I believe.
So for next week, yeah. So I've been thinking about that most of this episode, and actually listening to you talk about the children's music and all that stuff. For me, I did listen to that, but it never stuck with me because I wasn't surrounded by little kids who were listening to the same thing as I was. It was me, and then 7 years later, it was my cousin. So my knowledge of that stuff is just what I listened to and what my little cousin listened to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to some of the children's shows that from the 80s and 90s that we had over here. So you're going to hear a little bit about Mr. Dress Up.
Zoobly Zoo! Zoobly Zoo!
Because I did not hear about that until Collider Live.
Me neither. And I love it. Now.
Yeah, no kidding. God damn, it's in my head now. Fuck off.
Zoobly Zoo!
But no, over here we have like Mr. Dress Up. We had the Jolly Green Giant. The big polka dot door. What's funny is I actually have a t-shirt that I got made that says I grew up on Canadian TV, and it's got like those 4 icons on there. And then for my cousin's generation, the big comfy couch and stuff like that. So I'm going to do a little bit of research and see which ones I think you might be interested in. Some of them you probably haven't heard of, but some of them you might have.
Maybe.
And here's the thing, though. I'm going to also try to broaden it to include American as well, because we're America light up here. We have our own entertainment, but a majority of it is also American.
Yeah, I mean, I call it Diet America.
Yeah, basically. So when it comes to doing Canadian entertainment, it can be kind of hard if you're not steeped into it. So once in a while, I will start incorporating some American things into my list as well.
Yeah. In other words,
Canadians are weird.
Damn right, say.
That Canadian show made and produced in Canada, never broadcast in Canada.
Well, no, that's the thing. I know of it. I've seen it on channels, but it wasn't part of the package growing up here.
Yeah, but going back to the Zoobly Zoo thing, that was for you, buddy. That was for you.
We miss you, buddy.
We do. I mean, we wouldn't be making this show without him, so
basically, yeah.
Yeah. So, you muted yourself. Are you okay?
Me? Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, okay. So, is there anything else you want to say before we do the plugs?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, so plug away.
All right. So you can find me on my personal Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_saxman. You can also find me here in the Northern Entertainment Group doing the shows I do with 50. And you can also find me occasionally, if we're both feeling up to it, live streaming Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown over the Hotel Network. All depends on if I'm feeling well or if he's having a storm happen in his area. He lives in the Midwest. And then also you can find me on my newly launched wrestling channel, the So Dagan Wrestling Network, where me and my friend Dagan, we host a weekly show called Geekly Live, where we go over the week in wrestling. And we're going to have some more shows coming up. I got one with 50 that we're doing. We got to figure out a day to record. And then also this week, actually, oh shit, I should probably make a logo for that. Me and my friend Dustin, who I used to host this the Squared Slice with over on this channel, we are going to be doing a show called Top Tier Wrestling, where we're going to be doing a collaborative top 10 lists once a month on various wrestling topics. And this first one, we're going to be doing stables, because right now in wrestling, we are in the midst of one of the greatest runs of a stable of all time, known as the Bloodline. At the head of the stable is Roman Reigns, who just last week passed 1,000 days as heavyweight champion of the world. So we're going to be ranking our stables this week.
Next. Crucifixion. Yes. Good. Out of the door, line on the left, one cross each.
Basically how I feel like I did the 50 right now.
Are you done? Are you done?
You asked me to plug, so I plugged. I'm sorry I bored you.
All right, fine. So I'll try to keep this short. You can find me every Thursday on this show, Fun with Flash. You can find me every Monday on The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, talking about The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, Doctor Who. And speaking of Doctor Who, I also have my own YouTube channel, where 50 Shades of Geek, where I go through every single episode of Doctor Who and review from 1963 all the way to 2022 and review them every week on my channel, as well as a couple of other videos whenever I have the time to do them. And you can also check out all of these wonderful channels from in and around the Benverse multiverse, I should say. From Something to Talk About, Galaxy Geeks, Multiverse of Geekdom, Movie Lovers Unite, The Midnight Cinema, and A-Town Reviews, with, of course, the this channel and my channel also existing there. So thank you all for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Let us know what are some of your favorite childhood memories from favorite childhood songs and lullabies that you grew up with. And until the next one, everyone, just let your geek flag fly. That's all we're asking. So yeah.